Housing Authority of Danville plans to tear down 57 units at Fair Oaks. A few dozen families have to find a new place to live next year, and for the majority of them, that means leaving town. WCIA3's Emily Braun is with us now. So, Emily, the Housing Authority says a surprising amount of people are leaving.
Jessica, a lot more people plan to leave Vermilion County than they were expecting. About 80%, or about 35 families living in the buildings being demolished, said they're taking their vouchers and jumping ship. There are more than 300 units of housing at Fair Oaks. The Housing Authority of Danville told us it's become too much to manage. So they're trying to whittle that down, spread out the poverty, and thus bring down the crime.
The circumstances which follow a high concentration of poverty will be remediated as we get a manageable number of units together.
Jacquelyn Vinson says she's hoping to at least cut the number of units left standing in half. She thought the number of people who are staying versus going would have a similar ratio.
I figured it would be more 50-50. Half would stay here in our jurisdiction and half would leave. I was surprised that it was as high as the percentage that indicated their intentions to port out.
Many of your prominent people, particularly African American, but not just African American, lived in Fair Oaks, and Fair Oaks was a means to an end, not an end to a mean.
R.J. Davis is a city alderman and also a member of the Three Kings of Peace. He says he's seen how over the years Fair Oaks has gone downhill. He can't blame people for wanting to leave. In fact, he thinks if they do, it's a win-win.
And they'll live in better places. They will not be cramped, and it'll be almost like a new lease on life. But of course, the thing that will make it a new lease on life is the choices. If they begin to make the right choices.
And speaking of choices, Vinson says she's confident many people believe when it comes to Fair Oaks, the Housing Authority is making the right one.
I believe that more families would openly embrace expanded demolition here.
The families leaving have 120 days from this past Friday to find new housing. The Housing Authority will be helping them through that process. Jessica?
All right, Emily, thanks so much. 6 buildings and 57 units are coming down as part of Phase 1. The Housing Authority does not have a timeline for Phase 2 just yet, but they say that's when they'll look into further demolition.